Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope that everyone is having a wonderful Monday morning. We are going to be working on the month of October for our Grabie calendar series. So let me just pull that out so you guys can see what we've done so far. Every single day we do a different calendar month during the week, and this month we are going to be doing the tutorial for October. So here and it is right here below. If you guys have missed any of this series, you can grab it on my Tube of You channel, and all the replays are there. But we have done January. Good morning, Kristen. How are you? We have done February. Good morning, Rhonda. Jim, welcome in. Here's March. Here is April. And May. Hi, Deborah. Welcome in. This was the June. This was July. This was August. And this was September. And we are doing October today. So if you have been following along in this tutorial series, then I do hope that you will join us as we do October today. I am currently just inviting all of my people who normally paint with me in the mornings to make sure that they know that I'm on. So give me just a moment to do that. I hope that you guys are doing well on Monday. You guys give me some comments in the comment section. Let me know how you're doing this Monday, if you're doing good. Hopefully you will have an amazing Thanksgiving week, because it is the week to give thanks. I'm super excited about that. I'm going to see my sister and her family and my mom and my dad, and that makes me very happy and grateful that we have another year together. Good morning, baby. Welcome in. Just giving everybody a chance to hop on. Just not all my invites, so it'll take a minute for everybody to get on. But I do want everybody to know that we are working on the month of October this morning. And we will be using the Meeden, or the Grabie calendar, the Meeden paint kit palette. And we will be using the Meeden paintbrushes and the Meeden water dispenser. I will go through all of that in just a moment. Hey, Kristen. And we will, I'll show you the inspiration picture that we're going to use. Hey, Rhonda, welcome in. Glad you're here this morning. We are going to be doing the month of October. I do have to show you guys, I got a few fun things in this over the weekend. First of all, it came broken. Unfortunately, the mail was not nice to it, but Meeden is going to send me a new one. I did glue it back together because it was cracked and broken right here. But this is a new palette, and it has a lid. Isn't that cool? It is 12 colors, and you can, if you don't want them to dry out, you can put the lid on it. And if you do, you just leave it open until it dries, and then you can put the lid on it. But it's a porcelain palette that has the lid, so it's pretty cool. I hate that it came broken, but I did put it back together and managed to get it on there pretty good. They are going to send me a new one, but the post office just banged it around, I think, a little too much, because it was packaged really well, so I was surprised that it was broken. But anyway, I fixed it, and they're going to send me another one anyway. So morning, Carrie. How are you? All right, so we are doing the month of October. Let's just go ahead and start going through kind of what we're going to be using this morning so everybody is aware. And I will show you guys each of those things. So the first thing that we're going to use is this Grabie calendar. The Grabie calendar does come on watercolor paper. It is a hot press paper, and it is a very nice paper. You can see it's textured really well. It's nice and thick. And you can paint directly onto your calendar. Now, I do not. I paint onto paper because I want to be able to start over if I mess up and not ruin the entire month of the calendar. So I do mine on regular watercolor paper and then add it to here. I'm using a 5 by 4 1/4 size. And you could do smaller. You could do a 4-inch if you wanted a wider border. You know, however you wanted to do it would be fine. But like I said, it is watercolor paper and it's really good paper, and I probably should have painted directly on it and trusted myself more, but I just didn't trust myself not to mess up. So this was January. Here is February. I haven't had to start over yet, knock on whatever surface I need to knock on to not jinx myself. April, May, June, July, August, and September. I love, love, love the colors of this one. It turned out really pretty. You guys did good picking the month of September. Okay, so we're also going to be using the Meeden watercolors. This also comes with a stand, just so you know. The Meeden watercolors come with they have a 48 color palette, and they have a 96 color palette. Here is my trusty 48 color palette. As you can see, it is well loved. I have used it over and over and over daily for over a year and a half. It still has plenty of paint in it. The white has been replaced. I am running low in a few of them, but for the most part, this has lasted me over a year and a half, using it multiple times every day. So you get lots of pigment out of these, so you don't have to use a ton of paint. They go from lightest to darkest, so it helps you to shade really easily. It's a great palette. Even with 48 colors, it's plenty of colors, especially for the beginner who's learning to shade really easily. It's a great palette. Even with 48 colors, it's plenty of colors, especially for the beginner who's learning to mix colors. Comes with 6 metallics, and it comes with 6 neons. It comes with a paintbrush, a pencil, a sponge, and an eraser. And then back here is where you can mix your colors. And it closes up really nicely so you can travel really easily with it. So this has been an amazing palette for me. I love this palette. I still use it every day. I used it all weekend long working on some of my earrings and ornaments that I have coming up for a show that I have. So I can tell you that I still use this palette every day, even though I do now have the 96 color palette, which is a bigger set, but it's the same Meeden quality. It's amazing, and it comes with 30 metallics, 12 macaroons, and 6 neons. And the neons are a little different in this palette than the 48 color palette. And it has a fold out palette for you to mix, which also detaches, so you can use it, you know, separate from the palette if you want to. It comes with a pencil, this amazing Meeden brush, just like in the 48 color. Comes with an eraser, and it comes with 2 art sponges. And your 48 regular colors. Obviously, I have used this palette quite a bit as well. As you can see, it's starting to get kind of junky and messy, but that's okay because that means it's used and loved. And that is what I want out of all of my art supplies, to be able to use them. Good morning, Wayne. How are you? So that is the paint set that we will be using this morning. Okay. We will also be using this Meeden, what I call the Meeden toilet, paint toilet. It flushes your dirty water and gives you fresh water. Guys, this has been an amazing art supply for my studio, because I don't have running water in my studio. And because I don't have running water, I have to go outside to dump all my water, and I have to walk over to the house to get water and fill up my cups, and then come back and sit down when I need fresh water. I do have a tea dispenser now, a big jar that has the little dispenser like you dispense sun tea. And I keep that full of water all week, and I use that now, so I don't have to go back in the house to get water anymore. But if I didn't have this, I would still have to get up and walk over there, walk outside, dump my cup, and then come back in, grab water from that, and sit back down. So it breaks up your creative flow. Hey, Feral Mom, thanks for the heart me's, guys. Y'all don't forget your engagement points up here. And this, I don't have to do that. So now I can sit down, I can fill this up one time. This is 650 milliliters of water. So it'll go through 2 or 3 paintings before I have to go and fill it up again. And I can dump my old paint water in here and get fresh water immediately, so it doesn't disrupt my creative flow. So if you have an art studio that doesn't have running water, this is a really great product to have. I got a blue one for my grandson because we're always fighting over this one. He is going to be so excited. As a matter of fact, he found it the other day. It was in my house, hidden. And he found it, and he was like, oh, Gaga, can I please have this? Can I please have this? And I was like, no, they sent that to me by mistake, and I have to send it back to the company. Sorry. You know, and he was so disappointed that he wasn't going to get to keep it. So he's going to be super excited when he opens it up on Christmas and gets to see that he has his own. Yes, everyone tap. Good morning, Feral Mom. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Here is our giveaway for today. If we get to 30,000 likes, I'm going to give away this cute set of fall earrings. Let me get them in the light where you guys can see them. I just think those are super cute. I love them. I have several sets of these made up, and I just thought they were super cute for a giveaway for today. So if you guys, if we get to 30,000 likes today, that's going to be our giveaway, is these beautiful hand-painted earrings for fall. So you can wear them through the whole fall season. So those will be our giveaway today. All right. So I hope that we get to 30,000 so you guys can get those. All right. So we also will be using the Meeden brush set. And let me get those put up on your screen for you and show you what those are. So we are going to be using, I have the 4 brush set. They do make a 9 brush set, but I have the 4 brush set, and we are going to be using these today. These are a really good set to level up your art. If you've been painting for a little while and you're ready to kind of level your art up, this is the set for you. They stay really tight around the ferrule here, and they do not rust, which is great because you guys, if you've ever had brushes that, yes, Feral Mom, I have it. It came in this weekend. I'm going to rust, which is great because you guys, if you've ever had brushes that, yes, Feral Mom, I have it. It came in this weekend. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. So this is these do not rust, and they do not, they hold a ton of water. They keep their shapes really well, and you can do even detail work with some of the larger brushes. So they're short, so you can control your strokes really easily. Very nice brush. Love, love, love these brushes. And if you're looking for a professional set of brushes, but you don't want to pay a professional price, then this is a great set for you. All right. Now, before anybody purchases any of those products, though, I want to put a coupon up for you guys because all the Meeden products, they have a coupon that I can use during my live, and you will not have to, I'm going to do it on this because that's the travel set that I have. So, oh, you know what? They didn't give me a coupon today. Darn it. They're only doing free shipping today for me. Wonder why they didn't give me a coupon. I'm going to go look again one more time on something different. Let's see if I can get it on something else. Nope. All right, guys, I don't have a coupon code for you guys today. You guys know I don't ever know when I'm going to get those coupon codes, but I've had so many lately. I thought I would have one today, but I do not. So I do have a Grabie coupon code that is for the calendar. I can put that up, or I can put up, we also have free shipping on all of the Meeden stuff today. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you want the Grabie code, you guys let me know. I'll put that up for you. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and put up this one right here for free shipping. All of them have free shipping. So any of the Meeden products today, it looks like, has an offer for free shipping. But I'm going to put this up there just to remind everybody. This is the travel palette, guys, that she was talking about. And I'm going to pull it out for you guys and show it to you because it is incredibly nice. And I do want you guys to all see it. It comes in this cute little tin. It comes with these cute little stickers. And it comes with this little watercolor pad that has those same stickers on it that you can paint on your own if you want, which is kind of cool, just for fun. You could use glitter pens or whatever if you wanted to on that. So this is a really cool thing. And then also it comes with 50 watercolors. So I'm going to pull this up. Hang on one second. Put it under there. So it comes with 50 watercolors, guys, which is really, really nice. And look how compact and cute it is. It comes with tape, so you can tape off your painting. It comes with your eraser. It comes with your pencil, a brush. It comes with an acrylic marker, a black acrylic marker. It comes with a paint, like a water paintbrush. And then it comes, of course, with 50 of these amazing Grabie, or not Grabie, but amazing meet-in paints. Got Grabie on the brain since we're doing that calendar. But look at how nice these paints are. Like, there's a lot of paint in this. A lot. Like, this is going to last a very long time. I'm a traveler. I don't know about you guys, but I do a lot of, like, traveling in my motorhome. So this is a great little set to take, like, when we go to, like, places like Savannah and Charleston and I want to sit down and, like, paint some of the scenery. This is amazing for that because it has everything you need. It even has paper clips if you want to paper clip your stuff down. So this is a super nice little palette. It's great for gifts for Christmas too for an artist because it's small and compact and they can pretty much take it anywhere. And it has 50 colors. So like that's a lot of colors. And I just love it. I think it's super cute. I was really thankful that they sent it to me. This is one of the products that they actually sent me. I didn't purchase this, but I can tell you that it's a really nice kit and it's worth the price. I probably would have bought it because, you know, I did break down and upgrade my palette here. And I probably would have at some point saw this and gone, I've got to have that, and purchased it. But when it came out, they actually sent me a message and said, hey, we have this new palette coming out. We want to send you. So I was really grateful. So I'm thankful that they did that because I wouldn't have this right now if they hadn't. I would have had to have waited until probably after Christmas. So, but I do love it, guys. What do you guys think of this? Okay, there's one more thing I want to show you guys that we may or may not use depending on if we have anything that I want to highlight with sparkle. But I want to show you these pens, guys, because holy cow, I got these in and I thought to myself when I got them, I was like, I do not need another set of glitter pens. But they were retractable, and my granddaughter is always wanting to paint or to write with my glitter pens, but she forgets to put the lids on them, and then it messes them up. And so, because she's only 2, almost 3, she'll be 3 in April. And so I was like, I saw these and they were retractable, and I was like, well, these will not be an issue. So I got them. Well, guys, this is like the Ritz-Carlton, I swear, of glitter pens. Got them. Well, guys, this is like the Ritz-Carlton, I swear, of glitter pens. Like, I'm not kidding you. These are made, like, they feel so luxurious. Like, when I say they're, like, high-end, they feel high-end. If you're looking for a really good glitter ballpoint, and these are roller ball pens. So they're gel pens that are glittery, but they're roller ball. So they write really well. They don't clog. They're smooth. My gosh, y'all. See, Carrie, I know they're great, aren't they? Like, this is the best set of glitter pens I have ever owned, and they are definitely my new favorite. I played around with them all weekend. I colored all the swatches because they come with these little swatches and you color them and it shows you what it looks like on black and on white. So you can see what the color is going to look like on whatever surface you're painting on before you even start, or writing on, before you even start writing. which I think is genius to keep that right there on the pen so you don't have to keep up with a separate sheet of paper, because you know how I'm always looking for my swatches for my watercolors. Now I don't have to do that with these, but I mean, they are super luxurious. And if you don't have this set, I'm telling you guys, this is the set to get. Like, if you're looking for a good set of glitter pens, this is it. Like, hands down, the quality and the feel of this. I mean, it's just, it feels like luxury, guys, in a box for art supplies. I'm not kidding when I say that. When I opened them up, I was like, holy cow, I'm in love. Like, before I even wrote with them, just the feel and look of them when I opened them, I was in love immediately with them. So if you guys, like I said, if you guys are looking for some glitter pens, I'm telling you right now, hands down, these are the best ones I've ever had. And I have a ton of glitter sets, y'all. I probably have 7 sets of glitter pens, at least. And hands down, these are the best ones that I've seen so far. And I have used the heck out of these all weekend long. I even used them on some earrings that I did this weekend just to see how they would do on wood. I don't know. And these have been, you see the silver? They haven't been sealed yet, so they're not sparkly as much as they will be once I seal them, but they're super sparkly and super, like, cute, and they work on wood. So I'm just telling you guys, oops, sorry, dropped my phone. I'm just telling you guys, these are great. So I love them, and I highly, highly recommend these. I seal with just a clear coat of high gloss Rust-Oleum. Yeah. And it makes them kind of, it gives them just enough shine, because the, honestly, the wood absorbs it. So it's not like super, super shiny when you get finished. You can see on this pair that we're going to give away, when we hit that 30,000 mark, you can see that they're kind of, shiny, but not overly shiny. So it's not I use a high gloss, but because it's going onto wood, and this is 3 coats. I always do 3 coats. So this is 3 coats of high gloss Rust-Oleum clear. And I do that because obviously when you're doing watercolors on wood, if it gets wet, clear. And I do that because obviously when you're doing watercolors on wood, if it gets wet, it's going to smear, right? So you have to seal it so that if they're wearing those earrings during the rain and they happen to get wet, it doesn't ruin their earrings. Okay, so that is the Aura Sparkle Track around. If you're looking for a good set of glitter pens, this is it. These are high-end luxury. I love, love, love them. I absolutely am so stinking glad I got these. So there's that. Now we are going to get started on, hi Jamie, how are you? We are going to get started on our painting now. So I'm going to show you guys our inspiration photo in just a moment. Let me get my paper out because I forgot to pull a sheet of paper. So I'm going to have to do that before we get going. Move that out of the way. Hang on, guys. Get my paper out of here. Here it is. All right. It has a little thing on it, but we're going to be doing pumpkins today, so you're not even going to notice it. So I'm not going to even worry about that spot that's on there. All right, so I'm going to show you guys what we're doing for the month of October. This is our inspiration picture. So if you guys are ready for that, I did not want to do something Halloween because not everybody celebrates. People just celebrate like autumn and fall. And so I thought, well, that'll be kind of like limiting if we do that. So I just picked a really cute little pumpkin scene, which I think is super cute. So this is the inspiration photo that we are going to use for today. So hopefully you guys love it. I mean, obviously it's not going to turn out like this because it's just for inspiration. But if you guys would like to screenshot it so you have it as a reference, now is the time to do that. So go ahead and click the the screenshot button on your device and grab a screenshot in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are going to get started. Now with pumpkins, we don't necessarily have to really draw those out because they're pretty simple to do. So I'm going to show you guys how to do one before we start, just on a sheet of paper, because I want you guys to kind of understand how that works. So I'm going to use my Meeden #1 brush, and we are going to just simply grab some orange. And I'm going to grab this lighter orange right here first. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just do like a semicircle like this on both sides. Just like that. I'm going to rinse. I'm going to go in with this darker orange right here for the center. And I'm just going to do in the center over the top like this. Okay. And then we'll go in and we're going to shade that the way that we want to. So we've got the shape of our pumpkin, right? So now we're just going to go in with, I'm going to add water. I'm going to dry my brush off. And I'm going to pick up some of this right here. And I'm going to pick up some of this right here. So I have these lighter sides. I'm going to leave that dark in the middle. And I'm going to dry it. And then once I dry it, I'm going to re-darken that center up. And we'll have our pumpkin. Okay. And now I'm going to take that dark, again, that dark middle, and I'm just going to Alexa, skip. Okay. And we're just going to darken that up. And now I'm going to add some water and kind of spread that. You just want to even it out as best you can until you like it. And then once you're done, you're going to dry it. And that's pretty much all we have to do to create a pumpkin. So I hope that that like simplifies the process for you guys, because it really is not difficult. Some people think that it is, but it's not. Okay, so now we have our pumpkin. All right, so that's pretty simple. And you just do them in different pumpkin shapes, okay? So if you guys, in different colors. So that's kind of how we're going to do it today. Now, obviously, that was quick. I'm going to play around with the ones on my calendar a little bit more to make sure they're more defined with the edges and things like that. But I wanted you guys to just kind of understand the process of how we were going to do it. You're just waking up, Jamie. Let me tell you something, girl. I did not want to get out of bed today. It was 9 o'clock, and I was like, I rolled over, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I've got to get up and do something and get everything together before I sit down and do my live, which was why I was a couple minutes late getting on today. But I honestly was so tired. I don't know what it is. I've started taking magnesium, too, before I've added that to my daily stack of supplements that I take, because my doctor told me I needed to add some magnesium into my diet into my day. He said, you need to take a magnesium supplement. So I started taking one. Well, ever since then, I've really been sleeping a lot better, which has been great. But it's been hard for me to wake up. Okay, yeah, you take it too. Yeah, it works really well. I mean, I've definitely noticed I'm definitely getting better sleep for sure. Take it too. Yeah, it works really well. I mean, I've definitely noticed I'm definitely getting better sleep for sure. But I'm also not really wanting to get up as easy as I used to. Better sleep for sure. But I'm also not really wanting to get up as easy as I used to. been taking some supplements. It takes me kind of the majority of the morning because I take like 14 different supplements. But I would much rather do that than take 14 different pharmaceuticals. So that is the way that I do it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Leg cramps. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that would definitely help with that. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what we're going to do. Okay. So are you guys ready to get going? You guys give me some thumbs up in the comments. So I know you're ready. I bet they are. I bet they're out there just a cock-a-doodling. All right, we are going to, give me some comments if you're ready to get started on this. And I'm going to, I think that might be a pencil mark on that. So I'm going to see if I can erase it. Nope, it's not. I'm going to cut me a new piece of paper, y'all. I said I wasn't going to worry about that, but I'm going to. So I need to pull another sheet of paper out of here. So y'all give me just a minute to cut my paper the size that I need it so that I don't have to well, I can grab my stuff. Okay, so this meat and paper, I don't know if you guys know that. I use the meat and paper for this. They won't be, Carrie, not today. You're going to learn, you're going to do them and you're going to be like, no, these are super cute. Okay, we're going to make it super easy today. Okay, but this meat and paper, you have to like break this glue, and it's great for keeping your edges and everything really good, but it's such a pain to have to take it off of here. But it works really good for keeping your edges from curling and all of that, which is nice. But you have to be careful also not to catch the paper underneath it and have a really sharp X-Acto when you're doing this. But you have to be careful also not to catch the paper underneath it and have a really sharp X-Acto when you're doing this. All right. Let's see. I'm going to do 4 1/4, which is right here. And let me cut it real quick. Sorry, guys. Just need to get this cut real fast. Okay. Now I have a clean sheet of paper. Better. No, I mean, I could have turned it over, but the texture is a little bit different on the other side. And I really like the texture of the front side of it. So I feel like it would look like it was backwards, and it would look different than all the other pages in the calendar. So that's why I didn't want to turn it over. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and do our pumpkins. So one more time, let me show you this picture just so you can get a quick little peek at it. This is what we're working on. So we're going to do the pumpkins first, and then we'll add in all the extras afterwards. Okay. All right, so we want to start with the center pumpkin, obviously, because that's going to be the one that's going to kind of tell us how many pumpkins can go on either side. And how we're going to do that is, we're going to do that first pumpkin with a mixture of paint. So let's go ahead and pull out your brush. And make sure you have clean water. I'm going to use, just to mix, I'm going to use this meat in number 5 just to get a lot of color and water. But what I want to use is I'm going to use some of the white. And I'm going to mix it. You know what? I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this palette right here because it's little. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to take a little bit of the ochre. Okay, I want to have lots of water and lots of mixing. Okay, so I get like a kind of a almost a bisque color, but not quite. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an entire oval to make this long one. I'm not even going to do the 3 sections. I'm going to just do like an oval like this. Because I kind of want it to be, I'm going to pick up some of this pigment and just leave a little bit of the bisque color. Okay, so I'm going to switch now to my Mita #1 brush, and I'm going to make sure it's dry or close to dry. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up some of this pigment on the inside and on this. This is our light one that we're doing in the center. Okay, so I'm picking it up. So I'm just giving it a little bit of color, not enough to really matter. If I were to put this on the whole page, you would think that the page was white. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ochre directly with a good wet brush. I'm just going to make sure that it's very saturated. And I'm going to go along the edge here with it. And I'm going to rinse my brush. And I'm just going to kind of let that kind of spread. Now dry your brush. Pick it up and push that pigment to the edge. And it's going to just darken up that one edge just enough to where it gives it that form, right? And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. We're going to take a little bit of that saturated ochre and we're going to go along this edge. And we're going to add water. And we're going to add water. And we're going to add water. Dry our brush and we're going to pick up. Welcome in. Good morning. We're doing the month of October today. All right. Now, hang on. I got to pick that up a little bit more. All right. Now in the center, we're going to make this a little bit darker. So what I want to do is I'm going to take that same saturated and I'm going to go just right down the middle. I'm not going to do much to it. I'm just going to make a little oval shape and you're barely going to be able to see that it's darker. Make sure you keep picking up if it's if it blends around the edges so those stay a little bit lighter. So you've got this slightly darker center. And we're going to dry that and then we're going to put some accents on it that are going to make it look more like a pumpkin. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my detail brush, my Transcend detail brush, which is, where are you? That's not you. Where are you? Y'all, my grandkids have been here all weekend and half of my art supplies are just like everywhere. My grandson did not clean up his mess on his desk at all. And I have stuff just strewn everywhere. I may have to use a different brush today because I'm not sure what he did with my Transcend brush. He usually is really good about cleaning up, but they left, like his dad got here and it was kind of like, they just headed out quicker than normal. So, oh, here it is. Found it. All right. So I'm going to use my Transcend detail brush and I'm going to take a little bit of this darker color right here, which is let me pull it. And y'all, look what my granddaughter did with my swatch sheets. She decided she wanted to color on them. So she had a green marker and she colored all over my swatch sheets. So now I don't really have good swatch sheets. So I may have to scan that. Okay, we're going to use this raw umber right here. Okay. And we are going to just give it slight little like broken lines. Very light-handed. Okay. And we can go ahead and add our little stem. So I'm going to put some water right here so it can kind of blend down into the pumpkin. And I'm going to take that same color. I'm just going to let it find its way into the base of this pumpkin. And I'm going to curve it over like this. Kind of blend that in. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of blend these out just slightly with a light touch, and it's going to kind of give you that shadowy look. Make sure your brush is wet. Because you want it to kind of come down smoothly so it doesn't look too harsh. So just blend until you like it. If you don't like it, add water, blend it out, and pick up the pigment and start again. Hopefully, you won't have to do that, but it's not the end of the world if you do. I'm going to put a little bit of this darker color right down here to kind of shadow this slightly, because I do want to have a little bit of shadows across the bottom. Normally I would be doing this with my Mita number 1, but I already had my detail brush out, so I just kind of used it. But okay, so there is the first of several pumpkins that we're going to do for this. Hopefully that wasn't too painful, Carrie. Hi, Tammy. Good morning. I'm shading with the raw umber in the 96 color palette, but you could also use the dark ochre if you wanted to, because we use the ochre for the pumpkin. So you could use either the dark ochre or the raw umber, which is what I used. Do you have the 48 or the 96 color palette? Oh, I bet it does too look like a pumpkin. Remember, pumpkins aren't perfect. Okay. Pumpkins they're finicky. They grow however they want to grow. So they're not always round and perfect. Okay. Mine really kind of looks funky too, but we're going to trust the process. Okay, guys? Trust the process. All right. Go ahead and get out your, you know what? I'm going to do my details later. Okay. Let's go ahead and now get our Mita number 1. You have the 96. Okay. Yeah, it's the one that's right next to the ochre then, is the one I used. The one that's directly to the right of the ochre. All right, hang on one second. I need to change this to something a bit more quiet because I don't do well with noise like that in the morning. I need quiet. Well, that's way better. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and do, I want to go with a dark orange. Okay, not a dark, like a brownish orange. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this black tea and I'm going to use this red orange. So I'm going to do the black tea and the red orange, and I'm going to make a mixture with those. So take this black tea, which is kind of a reddish orange color, and take the orange and mix that in. And then I want to saturate it a ton. So we want to make sure that it has lots and lots of saturation in it because we don't want it to be super overpowering. So we've got basically like a brownish orange. You know, I'm going to go ahead and mix in this color that I already used to kind of make it cohesive. Remember, if you mix in the colors that you're using together, you end up with a more cohesive, like harmonious image because they've got a what I call a mother color. So yeah, I'm the same way. I need my coffee for sure. All right, so we're going to go with, now we're going to do this the way that I showed you guys at the beginning. So what we're going to do is we're going to press, and we're just going to do this a little, make this one a little bit fatter than the one that we just did. Okay, so press around like this. And then go ahead and take and get a little bit darker for the center, just like we did on the one that I showed you at the beginning. And go down the center with it, okay? And that gives us kind of a shadow of what we're gonna, the way we wanna do our pumpkin. Okay, and then go ahead and make sure that you dry your brush and pick up the pigment on the outsides. So pick that up. So you have that shadow in the middle of your pumpkin, okay? So far, so good? All right, now what we're gonna do is dry that. And we're going to go ahead and add in a little more of this color in the center first. And just darken that up a little bit. So we have that center kind of defined there. And I'm going to go ahead and push that pigment to the edge. Push it to the edge. So we have those defined lines. Okay, and now I'm going to take a darker orange. I'm going to use the vermilion. No, the light scarlet. This is the light scarlet. Use that light scarlet and give it just a shadow. Kind of let that blend. Clear water to blend that out. Oh, I don't want it going on that side. Let me fix that. have to fix that once I dry it. But just kind of blend it out so you don't have your lines aren't super harsh. I'm gonna dry mine so I can fix that corner right here that it messed up. You just pick it up first so it's not messed up. Okay, so see how that kind of smeared right there? So what I did was dry it. And now I'm going to define that with water. So it won't go past the water. It was still a little wet and I shouldn't have put paint there. So, and I can now do that again right along this section here. And it won't go back into that section. So, okay. And then pick that up. And now I've got my line defined out a little bit better there. And we'll add some detail here too. So that's not really going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and give it some shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and give it some shadow. And let that kind of blend. And shape it and play with it until you feel like it's where you want it to be, okay? Once you have the center done, we'll work on the edges, okay? Now on the edges, we're gonna use that same color that we started with, the one that we mixed over here. And we're gonna go along. Let's put some clear water on it first, so we have. But don't touch the wet. If you need to, dry your center before you move on. Okay, and then go ahead and add some clear water to this side. It doesn't need to be. Okay, and let's take that color and give it some darker edges right along the side here. You want it to be darker, but you want it to be subtle. Okay, same thing on this side. We're going to add our clear water. And then we're going to add our darkness to it. Make sure it's not drenched, it's just wet. And then add your edges. Again, it's darker, but it's subtle. And then I pull mine along the back side so it looks kind of filled out. And then we'll put our stem on, so that'll make it a little different. Now I'm going to take this same light scarlet that we used, and I'm going to kind of just bring it in across the bottom here to kind of pull those together right here along the bottom. Just like that. Just like that. Pick up a little bit of pigment so that you've got that contrast between the center, and then a bit of pigment so that you've got that contrast between the center, and then go in without those lines. Okay, there we go. And remember, we've got to put details in. We're going to be adding the grass and everything too. Like, trust the process. I know it might look like a hot mess right now. Okay, how are we doing? Everybody let me know how you're feeling so far about this. I know we haven't done the details on this one yet. Just hang on and we'll do them in just a sec. I'm gonna go ahead and wait to see some comments come through, what's going on with you guys and how you're feeling about it so far. Are we good? Are we struggling? What are you feeling? Carrie. You're feeling ugh. Okay. Well, look, we can also do some shading if you wanted to. Like, you could add in some of this brown to this mixture that you have over here. Make it a little darker. So, like, just add in a little bit of this ochre, maybe a little bit of this darker brown here. And then mix that together and come up with this darker orange. And we can even shade on a dry, wet on dry, and give it some darker shades. Which would also work. The thing is it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so now see, we even have some darker shading on it. So I just want you guys to know that you can kind of play with it and not feel overwhelmed, all right? It definitely does not have to be perfect, okay? It's a pumpkin, and pumpkins are not perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the top, the stem. I'm going to use this burnt umber for the stem for this one. And when I touch, that brown's going to spread, and that's okay. We're going to go this direction with this one, and we're going to make it a little shorter and thicker. And just kind of bring that, spread that out. Bring it down if you have to blend it. Okay. And we'll add in some detail. Okay, so let's dry it and add in some detail to it so you guys can see kind of how it's going to look. Okay, so I'm going to take this dark burnt umber and I'm going to kind of give it some like details. And I'm not doing a ton. I just want to give it some shape. Okay, now I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to take some clear water and I am going to kind of blend those out. Yes, that's what we're doing. We're doing some detail outlines on these. And remember, you're going to splatter at the end, and that's going to fix a lot. Remember, don't forget that. I'm going to add just a tad of this along the bottom here, this brown. To give it kind of a shadow across the bottom. Okay. All right, so there we have our second pumpkin. Now, again, trust the process, guys. If it looks like a hot mess, that's okay. All right, we're gonna do a small pumpkin right here. We're gonna do it with the same colors, and we're gonna kind of define that edge with a darker shadow, okay? So let me go ahead and we're going to go ahead and take, again, we're going to do our side and just go right over the top of that pumpkin you've already done and side here. Okay, and then take and do a center that's a little bit darker orange. Bring some of that color, that mother color into it so that it matches. And then we're just going to go down the center like this. Okay. All right, so now where you're going to dry your brush and go ahead and pick up right here and pick up right here. Okay, don't worry about that overlap right now. We're going to fix that, okay? Okay, and dry that up. And let's go ahead and take that orange that we mixed up, not the side, the initial first orange, and go ahead and bring that out on both sides. Okay, and let's bring in some of that brown and darken up that center with a little bit of brown. Some of that brown and darken up that center with a little bit of brown. Oh, let me dry it. And bring that all the way in the center like this. All we're doing is making ovals, guys. Just doing ovals, okay? Be sure you dry your brush if you're wanting to pick up pigment. Okay, let's dry that layer. Okay, and now what we're going to do is, I don't like the way that this pumpkin, excuse me, this pumpkin line's going through here. So I'm going to darken this up. I'm going to use a darker orangey brown, like I did in the center there. I'm going to go over that. And then I'm going to actually take the center and make it orangey orange. So I'm going to take this really orange color, mix it in a little bit with my brown so I have that cohesive color. And I'm going to do that in the center. Okay, so that you can see kind of the difference there. There we go. Okay, now go ahead and fill in your back spots, your base. And in the base, I'm going to use a dark, dark brown. I'm going to put it across the bottom here. Kind of bring it up. Add water if you need it to blend. And just remember to just play with it until you like it. If you don't like it, keep playing with it until you do. Okay, I'm not thrilled with mine, but it's because of the dark color, but it looks fine. I'm going to give it some detail and it'll be even better. And we're going to go right along the outside here, just along the outside with clear water. And we're going to give this one a little bit of a shadow. Okay. Remember, we're going to have a bottom on this. We're going to have greenery and all kinds of stuff in here. So we're going to have lots of ways to make this look nice. So just give it just a slight little shadow along here to blend it into the next pumpkin. Okay. Along here to blend it into the next pumpkin. Okay. Make sure your lines. And we're not going to worry about this because we're going to have our grass and all of that along here. All right, let's do our stem of this one. Go ahead and give it some water so it can blend. And we'll use that same burnt umber. And I'm going to go basically straight up. With that. Okay. And we'll add some curly cues and all kinds of stuff in a little while. Okay, so we have that one. And it's a little dark. I could probably pick up a little bit of this pigment in the center here, maybe. But honestly, I don't really think it matters. There. It's a little better. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Our next pumpkin we're going to do is going to be right here. And we are going to do that in these yellow colors. So let me clean my palette. So that I can use it to mix. So we're going to take this garbage, I think is what it's called. Gamboge, sorry. Couldn't see it. My eyes aren't as good as they need to be. And let's take the Harvest Gold, mix those together, get a little bit of this ochre, mix that in, and then saturate it with lots of water. I'm even going to add a little bit of the yellow ochre. So give it a little bit of a slightly green look to it. Okay. And just mix whatever yellowish, brownish color you like. And we are going to go, normally we would press and go down, but we're not going to go over the top of this. This one's going to be behind. So we're going to just do, I'm going to go like this so that it's not, it looks like it's behind it. Okay. And then we'll go do our 3 little ovals like this. Okay. And just know that we can take some pigment out. I'm going to make the center of this one lighter instead of the edges this time. So I'm going to pick up that pigment in the middle. Okay. And now I'm going to take some of this dark brown. It's the raw umber. And I'm going to mix that in with my yellow. to get kind of a yellowish brown. Okay. And I'm going to give this center some definition. Whoops. Hang on, let me dry that. Okay. Let's just give it a little bit of a oval shape and then add some water and blend it out. Whoops. Not that much water, guys. There's no reason to like stress over the shapes or anything really. Just remember, we're gonna be, it's the process, it's not the results. I have to tell myself that too. Okay, so now we have our yellow pumpkin, and let's go ahead and add our stem to that. Again, I'm going to use the burnt umber. Now we have our yellow pumpkin, and let's go ahead and add our stem to that. Again, I'm going to use the burnt umber. And I'm going to come up with try to come up with a tall, skinny stem. Like that. Let me go ahead and add my water. So this can kind of blend in. Okay. All right. Thanks, Mom. Okay, now I don't want you to worry too much about the bottoms here because we're going to be adding in our grass and everything. Oh, look what I did, y'all. It's a good thing we're splattering this. Because we're going to be adding our grass in, and we're going to have this bottom part here is going to be very, very messy and mixed together. So you don't have to really be too concerned about what it looks like across the bottom. Okay. You just want them to be slightly close to even. All right. Okay. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these yellow colors while I have it mixed. And I'm going to do a blue one, a bluish green one over here. Okay. So we're going to go with this yellow, and we're going to go just down. We're going to do 5 sections on this one. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here, or I guess 4 sections. Yeah, 4 sections. And here. Okay, so we made that a little, just slightly different shape, but it's still, again, it's still the pumpkin. And we'll go in and add our details and shadows and everything. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the center, the pigment out of the center, and the pigment right here. Oh. So we've kind of got these hills in the back that look slightly different. So right here is our other one, and these kind of blended together, so I'm not even going to worry about that one. And this is what I mean when I say I just play around until I like it. Because honestly, guys, again, it's the process, and I'm not a professional artist. I am somebody who just likes to do watercolors, and I'm learning as we go. So while it looks like a hot mess now, when it's all done, it's not going to look like a hot mess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and again use the yellowish brown, and I'm going to go ahead and come across here. I'm going to come across here. So it looks like we kind of have 4 there. Bring that down. Let that kind of blend. Okay. And I'm going to dry that. We'll see what we need to add. Thank you, Tammy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in a little bit more. And all I'm doing is just kind of adding shadows where I feel like it might need them. And I'm just playing around with it until it looks somewhat like I want it to. Okay. And then once it does, I dry it. If it needs something else, I add it. If it doesn't, we go ahead and add the stem. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add my stem to this one. So I'm going to put some water here so I know it can blend in. And I'm going to do that same burnt umber. I'm going to go up with it. And if it needs to be blended, I'll blend it, but we don't want it to be too much. So I'm going to take up some of that. Just remember, a dry brush can do a lot to pick up pigment and kind of give you some forgiveness in the way that it blends. Okay? All right, now we're gonna do a blue. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean my, or bluish green, clean my palette. I had to do a lot of mixing today to get these colors right, so. All right, so we're gonna do a bluish green. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this blue green right here, but it's obviously too bright. So we're gonna add some of this deep moss green in with it. And then we're going to saturate. Saturate that with lots of water. Thanks for the club. Cheers, Mom. All right, and I'm gonna make this one kind of taller, but I'm going to keep it kind of skinny because we don't have a lot of room, and I want it to be equal. I want it to hit the edge like this one did. Okay. So, we're going to kind of go, we're just going to butt up against that like that. And here too. Okay. And I'm going to rinse my brush, and I'm going to go in with a more saturated color in the middle of this. I want it to be slightly lighter in the center for this one. So I'm going to fill that center in with that lighter, more saturated version. And I'm even going to pick some of it up. Okay. Sorry, I was kind of off screen. Yes, less saturated. Sorry, not more. My bad. So this is the blue. All right. Sorry, I had it out of screen there, guys. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and use that same blue to kind of do some shadowing on this. Let's dry it. Do some shadowing on this. Let's dry it. And now let's give it some lines. And I'm just darkening up areas that I feel need to be darker. Just like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to do... Sorry, guys. Hang on. I'm going to get some water. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go along the tops of this one right here and just give it, before I do detail, and give it just slightly darker little humps, for lack of a better word. I don't know what you call them. Sections. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Now let's add our stem on here. Same color. We're going to use that burnt umber. And I'm going to go this direction with it. Rinse my brush. I'm going to make sure that that gets blended out. And just remember, again, a dry brush can pick up a lot if you're looking to kind of control your blend. Okay. All right. So now we have, basically, we have our base of pumpkins done. So now it's time to kind of go across the bottom here and blend all that together before we do our grass and everything. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to, this is the time to go ahead and dump, you have for sure, because you want to have a nice clear base to start with. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to go along here. I'm using my Meeden number 3 and I'm going to go along the bottom here with a clear base of water. Okay. I'm kind of making it jagged and not like any rhyme or reason to it. Okay, I'm just going along with this clear water. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in some of the colors we've used randomly. Okay, so now I'm going to use some of this orange. I'm going to use some of the brown. And we're just going to kind of play with it until we like that base. And it's going to kind of smear down. And we want that to happen. We want it to be kind of like a jagged blend. So I'm going to add, and I'm going to let it blend on its own. I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to let it be messy. Okay. The idea is to let it be messy. And we're going to add in some grass in a minute, and some, like, not grass, but some like grass, but different, like long blades, for lack of a better way to describe it. Go ahead and dry that when you're happy with it. You can always do it again if you need to. The idea is for this to look very abstract. Okay. All right. Now, I'm just going to use a clear brush and kind of go right along the base here and just kind of bring that all together. So I don't have super harsh lines, because we're going to be adding in some grass blades and things that are going to kind of blend this all together. So I'm just using a wet brush to do this, guys. Just getting these harsh lines out. Okay. All right. So we've got this kind of abstract base to it. All right. And it doesn't need to be controlled. All right. It's really important that you not try to go, oh, that's not looking right. Like, let it do its thing. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch brushes, and we're going to go to our detail brush. We're going to put in some grass blades. We're going to use the deep moss green right here, this deep moss green. And we're going to use we're going to use that to do our blades of grass. Okay. And we're going to come up from here of grass. Okay. And we're going to come up from here with a light touch. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, and there's no rhyme or reason to the way we're doing the grass, okay? And we're going to come up from behind as well, like this. Again, I'm using a really light touch. And don't worry if the shades change because you're losing pigment as you go. That's okay. You want to have different shades of this. We're going to add some berries and stuff to it in a minute. And we'll blend all this in too in a minute. Across the bottom, so don't worry. Again, with watercolors, you just play with it. And when you figure out what looks good, you leave it. And we're going to add in some little details to our pumpkins too in a minute. You just don't want to think this through too much, okay? This is the idea of doing this, is to not really have to think it through, okay? Just randomly place them and know that wherever they end up is where they're supposed to be. Because again, we're going to add in some little flowers and kind of berries and things like that to kind of fill this in. Okay. When you think you have enough, we can start kind of adding in some of our florals and see where we're at, okay? And all I'm going to do with those is I'm just going to take this garnet red and I'm just going to do some little circles and ovals, and I'm going to leave kind of a little open white space in it to make it look kind of like florals. And you can use different colors. You don't have to just use this one color, but it's totally and completely random the way that the flowers are being done. I'm not doing any kind of shape on them because they're small, and the idea is to just make them look kind of there. You don't have to, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Just fill them in and let them figure out what shape they want to be on their own. Hi, Stacy Lee. How are you? Oh, I'm so sorry. You got to go pick up his ashes. That's a hard part of it. Definitely. You can catch the replay. Not all of these have to have a flower on them, but you certainly can put a lot. I want to add in some extra like little branches that kind of branch off from some of these. So that I have a little bit more. And then, of course, we'll add some leaves in there too once we get our flowers done. Sometimes the more water you have on your brush, the better these flowers will end up because they kind of just blend and run together on their own, and you don't have to really mess with them too much. So if you put a lot of water on your brush and just kind of dab your brush on there, it's going to give you kind of flowers that are natural and they feel more organic than if you're actually trying to paint a flower. They're for sure going to be much more natural that way. You guys give me some comments on how we're doing. You feeling good or good about this, or you're struggling with it? Like, where are we at on it? Thank you, Kay. Thanks, Karen. Carrie, how are we doing? I know you were struggling with the pumpkins. I feel like yours is going to be beautiful because I've seen your paintings and they're all gorgeous. I think you're just too hard on yourself. Oh, you're all right. You're struggling, Carrie. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of struggling too. So, like, just know that I'm not thrilled with how this is turning out. But I really do want to say that if you trust the process, like in the end, once we get to the end, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at how well it turns out. You just have to you have to keep playing with it, and you have to really trust that what you're doing is, creating layers. And as you layer more and more, things are going to come together. So, and if you don't like your pumpkins, again, add more layers and just layer them until you do. Because that is, one of the things that watercolor is really good at is doing layers. Yes, Miss Stacy, that is very correct. All right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some leaves. So I'm going to get that same green and I'm going to just add in some leaves. Wherever I feel like, it needs it. They don't have to be perfect. They're just going to be add-ons and filler. So just put them where you feel like you need to have some leaves. And you may have to blend some to get those to look right. But we're kind of going for, again, more of an abstract feel to it. We don't need anything that's perfect. Because in the very end, when we blend everything, it's going to be more of an abstract feel. So I'm just doing these kind of random little leafy areas with no rhyme or reason to them. You can also do this with your Mita number 1, the tip of that brush. You don't have to have a detail brush to do this. But I just like using my detail brush. I have to be careful not to smear my flowers. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I have my florals or my leaves and everything in there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in some details to mine. To my pumpkins, and then we're going to blend this whole bottom all together. Okay, so I'm going to take my burnt umber again, and I'm going to come, let me dry this so I don't smear anything. So now I'm going to take, and I'm going to just start adding some little details, like curly cues. And just start adding some little details, like curly cues. Very light-handed. And blend those in. And maybe even have some coming off the sides in green. So we're going to add in some of these, and then we'll go do some in green as well. I just want them to be kind of subtle. Okay, so we just added a few of these little twists, and now I'm going to do the same thing with the green. I'm going to use this moss green, and I'm going to come off of these as well with that. Oh, water. Okay, So kind of added in some of those details. You can also bring down and just give it some like definition around the stems if you wanted. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some darker shades of the colors that I used. I'm going to do the green first. And I'm going to kind of come through here with these detail lines and just give it some shape. This is where you're going to start seeing those pumpkins kind of come together and grow into the pumpkins, because you're going to be giving those shapes and details. So you're going to be shading in those areas where you want those shadows to go. And you're using the same colors. You're just using a darker form of it. Okay, so see how that kind of brought out the details of this pumpkin? And we do this after we do the grass because we want that to kind of blend in together. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing with my yellow. I'm going to go ahead and mix up a little bit more of that yellow brown that I had. It's hard to mix with a detail brush. Okay, so I have kind of this dark yellow brown now, and I'm going to do that same thing here. I'm going to bring my shadows in. And you just have to trust that process of making these shadows come through. And that's where you're going to start really seeing the magic happen, because you're going to end up going, oh my gosh, like at first it didn't really look like anything, and now you can actually see the details of those pumpkins come out. So Carrie, this is where your magic's going to happen, so don't panic. Go ahead and give it the shadows that you want, and you're going to see all of that come through. Okay, so see how that is now looking more defined. Thank you, Rhonda. It's my Spotify playlist. I know you miss your dog, Stacy. I'm so sorry. I miss my Mercy too. It is a Bible study playlist. It's what I use when I'm doing my Bible study. Karen, yes, I use this very small detail brush. It's a 0. It's the Transcend 0. I don't know if they sell theirs individually or not. But the set that I have is right. Let me see. Where's my Transcend set? Right here. This is the set that I have. And this is the 0 out of that set. My granddaughter picked off the outside of it, but it is a 0. And this brush really will bring out the details of everything. All right, so I'm going to mix this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Just going to use the ochre color for this. I'm not even going to use the beige or the white. I'm just going to do an ochre color and just kind of bring the shadows out of this one with the ochre. And this one you have to be really subtle on this light one because you'll end up with too much and it'll overpower it if you're not careful. And it won't look. You just have to use a really light touch too. You don't want to overpower everything. You know what? I need a little bit of this dark in it too. I feel like the ochre's got too much of an orange tint to it. And you can even bring them, you know, in here some. Okay. All right. So there's that one. So now we're going to move to the orange. These two orange ones. This one's going to be the one that's going to really shine once we get the shadow on it because it's dark and you'll be able to kind of see what I'm talking about. But this orange one, we're going to go ahead and use the burnt umber. I'm going to mix it for you guys. We're going to go ahead and use the burnt umber. I'm going to mix it for you guys to see. Use burnt umber. And I'm going to use this orange. And I'm going to use this scarlet, light scarlet, to get me a good orangey brown mix. And that's what I'm going to use for my shadows here on this one. So I'm going to just kind of bring that in. Okay. Everybody kind of getting the hang of it? How are we doing? I want some feedback. You can look me up on Spotify. It's under, what am I on Spotify? I think I'm just Coach Ellen, but let me just check. It may just be Ellen May. Oh, I'm under Ellen Mosley May on Spotify. So let me show you my profile. That's my profile right there, if you need it. This one is called Bible Study Music, and it's got a little cross emoji. And that's the playlist that I'm playing right now. And it's just mostly instrumental. It's got some really pretty relaxing songs in it. So, all right, so there's that one. So now we're going to do this really dark one right here. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to use this burnt umber as our outline. All right. So we want to make sure as we go, we have to do, we want a really light touch on this, but we definitely want to see those lines because otherwise it's going to look weird. So we want to bring out those shapes. So use that darkness to kind of shadow in the tops of your pumpkin. And also give it kind of some definition in the center. And then across the bottom here. Because remember, it's behind the grass, so the more you blend that in, the more that's going to look really natural, as if it's sitting in that grass. And as you do this and you leave the center open, you don't necessarily have like a like you have this open space between the top and the bottom, and that kind of highlights the center and it makes it look kind of rounded. Like that. I think that looks good. All right, now we're going to go back to our yellows. We're going to go back into this mixture that we made right here for that highlight, okay? And then across the bottom. Okay, so you end up with that. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to take my number 3 brush, and I'm going to go right across this bottom here. Again, like we did at the beginning, or right when we finished our pumpkins. Kind of bring all of this together. And I'm going to add in some more of these colors over that grass that we just put in, okay? And I'm using these highlight colors, the ones that we just used, not the original colors. So the darker versions of everything. I'm just bringing it into kind of blending those down again, okay? And just leaving it kind of random, okay? And I'm going to now dry that. And now we're going to do some splattering to bring this all together. All right. This is where the magic is going to kind of happen with the splattering. So I'm going to take my meat in number 1, and I'm going to first dip into this orange right here. And I'm going to mix it with some of this brown because I don't want it to be overpowering. Okay, so I've mixed that orange with a brown. It's still a little bit too brown, so I'm going to add a little bit more orange. Okay, so we want this to have an orange look to it, but we don't want it to be so orangey that it's like overpowering. Okay, we're going to splatter that on. Okay, and then we're going to go and we're going to dip into this yellow. I'm using the Harvest Gold, but I'm going to mix it with this brown right here. Okay, so we have just a little bit. I'm going to give it a little bit more brown. That same brown, that burnt umber. Okay, so it's not super overwhelming. Sorry. And now we are going to throw that in the mix. Okay. And let's see, I think I want to use a little bit of the green. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our moss green. Sorry. That does that because it broke and I had to glue it back together. Okay. And the blue, mix that in. Get this color on there really well. And let's throw some of this in there. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to dry it. Okay. All right, so this is the final piece before we put it on the calendar. I love, love, love it. I don't love the blending of the grass at the bottom. And I might want to go across that with a little bit of a darker green. I think I will because I don't really love that. So I think what I'm going to do is come across here with some green. So this is a clear. And then I'm going to take that moss green and I'm going to kind of go across that. All the way across. Just so it kind of hides that mixture. And then I'm going to blend it. So that darkened it up just a tad. Not too much, but a little bit. And honestly, the way that the original was done, it had like drips. And honestly, the way that the original was done, it had like drips. And you could actually do that. You could actually take and put a whole bunch like right there and just blow on it and let it kind of drip down. If you wanted to, because that's kind of how it was done in the original. It was like she just put a ton of water and just let it kind of drip like that. I don't know if I like that though. Again, watercolor is really forgiving, so you can kind of try things out, and if you don't like it, you just blend it. So I'm gonna leave it. Hey, OC girl, how's it going? Glad you popped in. All right, so this is for October, so let's go ahead and pull our calendar and get it put on to the calendar so that we can see how beautiful this is gonna look, because I think that it's going to be amazing on here, and it's going to follow September with those beautiful colors that September had in it. So look at that, guys. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, so I'm going to pull up my brayer so you guys know what brayer I'm using. A studio is never complete without a good brayer. I can assure you of that. I use mine for so many things, but this is one of the main things that I use it for when I'm junk journaling stuff, is making sure that my edges get down really good when I'm gluing. So I'm going to put my glue on my edge really good. And then I am going to make sure my edges have lots of glue on them. And then I place it onto my calendar like so. And then I roll it with my brayer. And this makes sure those edges stick really well. Good. Okay. All right, let me figure out what I'm going to shadow this with today, because I want to make sure that the color that I use is going to really bring out the those beautiful colors in those pumpkins, because holy cow, those colors are pretty. And I don't think I have a good orange either, so I feel like I'm gonna either have to use this fossilized amber, or let's see, what else I have. I have so many of these distress inks. But see, I have this orange. I have this spiced marmalade. Ooh, I don't know. That might go. I really like that spiced marmalade. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those two. All right, guys. Y'all tell me what you think I need to do for the border. Should I use the spiced marmalade, or should I use the distress or the fossilized amber? I really feel like that fossilized amber will be pretty. I'm afraid this is going to be too orange. I'm gonna practice it on another sheet and see what it looks like, because I think it's probably going to be too orange. Yeah, the spiced marmalade. All right, let's see. Let me find my brush that goes with that one. Well, I don't know where it's at. Here it is, spiced marmalade. All right. So I'm going to practice it on this one. All right, so that's the color it's going to be up next to that. And then the fossilized amber. Oh, I have two spiced marmalade brushes. I guess it's mustard seed. Let's see. Where's my brush for, here it is, fossilized amber. All right, this is gonna be the fossilized amber. They're really close. It's fossilized amber. All right, this is gonna be the fossilized amber. They're really close. I feel like that, I think that fossilized amber is going to look better up next to that, honestly. What do you guys think? The amber? Spice marmalade, spice. Oh, I have two. It's two versus two. Somebody break the tie. I think the amber is going to work. I think the amber will look good. So that's what I'm going to use, is the amber. Okay. So let me move my brushes out of the way so I don't knock them off and spill them again like I did the other day. Y'all, I need a better setup for this, guys. I need a better, like, one of those tripods that goes over the top of my desk so I'm not having to, like, lean over it to work. But I don't have that, so this is what I'm working with. So I have to constantly be making sure that everything's out of the way so I don't make a mess. Okay, so we're going to use this. We're going to go around the edge like this. Oh yeah, that amber looks really good. And I just do this to kind of bring it all together so it doesn't look so awkward since I'm adding paper to my calendar instead of painting directly onto the calendar. If I was painting directly onto the calendar, I don't think that I would add these borders because it would look more natural. But because I'm having to do that, I'm adding borders to it. I feel like that it looks better with the borders. It just kind of frames it out. So, all right, let's put it on its stand and see what we got, guys. All right, where is the stand? My calendar now. Oh, here it is. All right, let's put it on its stand so that we can see how beautiful this looks, guys. Okay, so that is the month of October. Let me pull up the calendar for you guys. Dun, 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 because that's what we're using. All right. And oh my goodness, this looks really pretty, guys. Check that out. Can't really see it though, because my light, the way my light is. Here, I'm gonna pull my light over here so you guys can see it better. Look at that, y'all. Here, I'm gonna pull my light over here so you guys can see it better. Look at that, y'all. All right, I'm putting my light back up so that, but yes, that turned out so nice. It's really dark outside. Like, I feel like we're about to have a storm, which is why my lighting in here is looking really strange. But let's just do it like this so you guys can see it. I think it's beautiful. Now, I want you guys to know that as I was painting that, I really was struggling on those pumpkins, and I really was concerned about how they were going to turn out. And I kept saying, trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. And it turned out beautifully. So I want you guys to, again, I'm lecturing myself just as much as I'm lecturing you guys. But you must trust the process. Eventually, if you play with it enough and you just keep shading and you just keep layering and you just keep putting details in, you are going to end up with something beautiful when it's all over with. Because I think this turned out so pretty. Honestly, in person, it's hard to see on camera, but it really is beautiful in person. Like, I just love, even the bottom part, the way the bottom is done is so, so pretty. So let's go through all of our calendar pages so far. We'll be doing November. Tomorrow I have an appointment in the morning to take my dog to get neutered. So it'll probably be, I don't know that I'm going to have time until tomorrow night to get on here. So it'll probably be, I'm probably going to do tomorrow night for my live. So those of you who normally paint with me, just know that it will not be a morning live. I don't think I'm going to have time for that. So I'll do tomorrow night at like, let's shoot for, my time is Central Standard Time. So I'm going to shoot for 8 o'clock Central Standard Time tomorrow for the month of November. So that's going to be my schedule for tomorrow. Okay. We will be doing November tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. Hi, Tia. Okay. So here's January. I want y'all to be able to see it in good lighting. So I'm going to put it at an angle since my lighting is weird today because it's darker outside. So there's January. There's February. Here is March. Here is April. Here is May. Welcome in, Vicky. Hi, Tia. Hi, Kismet. May. Here's June. And July. And August. September. Y'all, those colors are gorgeous. And October. Yay. Y'all, we are almost through the year with this calendar. So tomorrow's tutorial will be for November. If you've missed any of these and you want to see the replays, you can get them on my Tube of You channel, which you can find on my TikTok page. There's an LINK for that. And otherwise, if you haven't picked up a Grabie calendar, definitely do that. Pick up a calendar today and make someone a Christmas gift. Guys, I cannot wait to give this to her. It's a good thing I'm not going to see her before Christmas because I would have to give it to her early because I am so in love with how this is turning out. I'm going to put it back here and see if y'all can see it better like that. I don't know if you can or not. I don't think you can. Oops. That might help if I close this up. All right. Let me put that back in there where it goes. And let's see what we got here. Nope, it's still not good. The lighting is still terrible unless I lean it back. But how freaking cute is that? I mean, so cute. Let's see if I can get some light on it this way. Sort of. I want it to stand so y'all can see it like that. But, okay. Anyway, it's super cute. Oh, I got this new thing the other day. Maybe it'll work. Let me see if I can find it. It was a light that attaches to my phone. And it looks like... it looks like this. Let's just see. I haven't ever used it before. Somebody sent it to me. And I don't know if it's even charged. Let me see. Oh, it is. Does that work? Oh my gosh, y'all, this works great. It's this little light and it has this clip on it. And you push it. I think you snap it in here like this. And then you clip it onto your phone. Look at that. Huh. Wow. I had... Well, it came in handy. Check it out. So, there it is. Wow, I'm going to be using that more often. Okay. So here it is. All right. What do you guys think so far? I want to see your pieces. So be sure you tag me in them if you post them. Be sure you send them to me in a DM if you don't feel like posting them. I want to see them. I love all of your pieces so much. So let's go through this one more time. The replays are available on my Tube of You channel if you guys want to see the replays. This was January. Here is February. Y'all, and these just get better, I think, as the months go on. I don't know about you guys, but do you guys agree with that? I think they just get better as we go. Like, it like builds to a crescendo. So Christmas is going to have to be just like massively dynamic, right? May. Here's June. Here's July. August. Oh, I love August so much. My birthday month. And then September. Oh my gosh, the colors in September are so beautiful. I love, love, love them. And then October. So that is where we're at. We still have November and December to get through. So I hope that you guys will join me for both of those on our tutorials. I think that they are going to be beautiful. We'll see what we end up with for November. That's going to be a tough one, I think, for me to pick something, but we'll see. So there it is, the Grabie 12-month watercolor calendar for 2026 so far, all the way through October. It is currently on sale. I do have a code for a discount code for that. So let me just pull that up really quick. How are we doing on likes? We're at, are we close to 30,000? Oh no, we're not. Okay, that's all right. We won't worry about that today. But remember, tomorrow for November, maybe we'll get enough and we can do our giveaway. Okay, most of the time we do, but today was kind of a chilled, relaxed day. So we'll do that. We'll do that another day. But let me go through everything that we used, okay? But I want to give you the coupon for the Grabie calendar. There is a coupon code for it today. So, which I don't usually get Grabie coupons, but they gave me one today. So it's for 10% off. And I am going to post it right there. Okay, so that Grab, NYAIRA, you can use for 10% off, and it can stack on to the sale price. So you're going to get another $1.23 off of that. So you're going to end up getting that for a really low price. And it is the 2026 calendar. Make sure you get the 2026 calendar at that link, because there is a 2025 and you don't want to actually end up with the 2025. You want the 2026. So make sure you click that link to do that, and use the coupon code on top of this. And you're going to get it, guys, for just barely over $10. Like, that's a great price for this. That's less than $1 a month. And you are going to end up with a beautiful calendar when you're done. Now, you can get it for yourself or you can get it for a friend. Mine, I bought, and then I'm giving it to a friend for Christmas. But if you wanted to give it to an artist friend and let them paint it on their own, so it kind of forces them to have to be creative every month, that's also a really good plan. You can use it for yourself, and you can wait and do each one on a monthly basis. So you're forcing yourself to be creative at least once every month. That's also another plan you can do. Or you can paint it all like we're doing, and you can send it as a gift to whoever you want, or keep it for yourself on your desk every month and see your art and admire your art and have fun and enjoy that as well. So there's lots of different ways to use this, but it is a super cute calendar. Let's go through the months once again, and then we'll go through our products, and then I'm going to be off of here. Oh, you know what? I do want to do this really quickly while I have you guys, my people on here who normally paint with me, because we did just finish. So before I go through the full calendar one more time, I want to show you guys this book that I got. Now, this girl reached out to me. She is an independent author. She is struggling to get her TikTok shop off the ground, and she sent me this cute book, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to share this on my live. I know that this isn't art related, but I'm going to share it on my live just so you guys can see it, so that you guys can see how stinking cute this book is. It's 3 stories in one. It gives you a Halloween story, and it's a board book, and it has some of the Spanish words in it as well. So even if you don't speak Spanish, you can kind of learn some Spanish words, which I think is great for the little kiddos. But it also has a Thanksgiving story. So it's the Coconut's First Thanksgiving Adventure. And then it also has a Christmas story in it. So it's 3 stories in one. And it has these QR codes that you can scan that show you, like, or they give you somebody reading the story out loud. So as the kids do that, you know, as they read it, they can listen to it as well. Separate paper the size of the calendar. No, unjudgmental. What I did was I cut it. It comes on watercolor paper. This is watercolor paper. But I didn't trust myself to do it directly on there. I was afraid I would mess up and have to start over, and then I would have ruined my calendar. So I cut my watercolor paper the size of the calendar, 5 inches by 4 1/4. So I just left a small little border and added that myself, because that way if I messed up, I could just cut another sheet and start over. I just didn't trust myself not to mess it up. So that's why I did it like that. But a lot of people are painting directly onto the calendar because it is watercolor paper and it's really nice. I just didn't, because I don't trust myself. So that's why I did mine like that. So anyway, this book right here though, you guys, it's for 26. Get the ones that are 26. They have a 25, but the link that is in my my bag down there is the 26 one. So make sure you're getting the 2026. So I got this for my granddaughter, and I wanted her to be able to enjoy it. This is the board book, so it's thicker pages, but she also has just a regular paperback version of this as well. But I wanted to show you guys this just because I told her I would definitely, if I thought it was cute and liked it, that I would promote it and help her get her TikTok shop started. So that is what I'm doing. I think it is such a cute book. I read through it. It's super cute. So if you guys want to support an independent author, just know that this is a super cute book, and it's, like I said, 3 stories in one. So I wanted to show you guys that before I got off of my live today. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I struggled, and I don't trust myself. So I was very much not going to do it directly onto the paper the first time I did it. Although I've ordered another one, and I am going to do it on that one. I'm going to do it directly onto the calendar. I'm just going to trust myself to do it, and I'm going to go for it. Here is the calendar. I've got it linked right here. Here is the coupon code right here. You can stack it on top of the sale price, so you'll save a little bit more money. Get it for just a little over $10 for this calendar. So let's go through it. We've got our Happy New Year. Here's the February one. Here is March. And here is April. Here is May. Here is June. I love June. July. August. September. The colors in September are absolutely beautiful. And today's tutorial was for the month of October. Okay, so if you have not, if you've missed these and you want the replays, you can get them on my Tube of You channel. You can find that LINK on my TikTok page. So feel free to go there to get replays of this. I upload them as soon as I get off of here. I'll go ahead and upload the replays for you guys. All right. Grab a calendar and get going on yours. You will love it. I promise. You will not be sorry. It has been such a fun journey to do this, and I cannot wait to give it to my BFF for Christmas. She's going to love, love, love it. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be doing the month of November. All right, so I will be doing the tutorial for the month of November. Let's talk about the paints that we used and the brushes and all of the other products that we used, okay? So the first thing that I will tell you is that this is not the brush we used. We used these Mead & brushes, okay? The Mead & brush set is absolutely crazy amazing. If you want to level your art up, then I'm going to tell you that this brush set is the way to do it, because I had been using the brush that came with my watercolors, which was a great brush. Okay, the brush that comes with the Meet and Watercolor kit is absolutely amazing. Karen, thank you for your purchase. You're going to love that calendar. I hope you'll watch the replays if you want to do any of the ones that we did. You can do that by finding that LINK on my page. So these brushes will definitely level up your art. Okay, guys. First of all, they don't rust, which is great. They are short, so you can control your strokes really easily. This ferrule does not loosen up. It stays nice and tight, which is excellent. And they hold their tips and their shape really well. And they hold a ton of water because they're synthetic squirrel hair. So they have amazing features. And I used my regular brush that came with my paints for a long time. But they were, and it was great. But once I got a little bit more seasoned and understood kind of what I was doing with watercolors, because I never had done watercolor painting until I bought that set. So I was not I just wasn't a watercolor artist. I was a mixed media artist. I played around with watercolors and that, and I did junk journaling, things like that. But I never really painted. And never in a million years could I have thought for 1 second that I ever could have done something like this. But what I did was I bought my watercolors and I started watching videos and learning to paint. Because, guys, painting with watercolors is a skill set. It's not something you have to know how to do. It is definitely something you can learn. And so I started learning. And then about 6 months after I bought my palette, I went ahead and purchased these brushes. Now, these brushes they leveled up my art so fast. It was like overnight, boom. Like, they really made a difference. I didn't have a clue how much a brush set could make a difference. But, man, do they make a difference. They really, really do. So, if you're looking to level up your art and get a professional set of brushes, but you don't want to pay a professional price, which is like $30, $40 a brush, then this is a great set because it's reasonably priced. So I love, love, love this set. I use them every day and have for over a year. Okay. Karen, you are going to love, 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 love your water dispenser. That is the next thing that I'm going to feature right now because we use that today as well. We call it the paint toilet because it works like a toilet. You get dirty water and then you just push this button and it flushes your dirty water and gives you clean water. I do not have running water in my studio. So before I had this, I was having to get up and dump my water outside and then walk over to my jar of water that I keep in my studio and fill up my cups and then come back and sit down. And it was really interrupting my creative flow. But I had a cheap version of this that I had bought on one of those discount sites. And I hated it and threw it away because it did not hold enough water. It was plastic, cheap plastic, and it leaked and it just was not good. So I threw it away. So when I saw this, I was like, I'm not buying that. I'm not wasting my money on it. But Meedham reached out and said they would like to send me one. And so I told them, okay, well, I'll definitely try it if you send it to me. I'm not going to spend my money on it because I already tried a cheap one and it didn't work. And I felt like it was a luxury item. Once I got this in and realized, first of all, how heavy duty this was made, I was in love with it. But also, this holds 650 milliliters of water. So I used barely this much water during this tutorial today. I can do 2 more paintings with this before I even have to dump my water or before I even have to refill my water. But then this right here holds 2 of these. So I don't have to dump my dirty water until I've gone through this twice. So it holds a ton of water, 650 milliliters. It holds your brushes so they can dry upright. So you just stick your brushes right here. They can keep their shape, dry upright. It is the best. It's such a huge time saver, but also it doesn't interrupt your creative flow. Like, you can just keep working until you're ready to stop, which is really nice. So this is for sure not a luxury item. And if something were to happen to this, I would definitely spend my money and buy this again. I bought one for my grandson for Christmas. He's going to be so excited because we fight over this one all the time. So he's going to be super excited about this one. Because he's going to get one in blue, and it's going to be his own, and he is going to be like ecstatic. I cannot tell you how excited he's going to be. I definitely do not see this as a luxury item anymore. It is for sure a necessity, and I would not, under any circumstances, do without it again. Like if something happened, I would buy it. So this is what we also use this today. So, and then the last thing that we used was the Meeden 96 color palette. I have both. I have the 48 color palette, and I have the 96 color palette. I just upgraded to the 96 color palette, guys. Literally less than, well, actually, I think it's been a week since I've gotten this in. But this is the 96 color palette. And then I do have the 48 color palette as well, which is right here. And you can see 48 color palette as well, which is right here. And you can see, and they still have plenty of paint left, and I use them multiple times a day, every single day. So if you're looking for a really good palette, this is a great palette to have. It comes with 6 metallics and 6 neons, and then all of your other colors. All right. They go from lightest to darkest, so it makes shading super easy. And you have your mixing back here. It comes with a brush and a pencil, an eraser, and a sponge. Okay, great for the beginner or the seasoned artist, either one. I was a beginner when I bought this palette. I'm still a beginner, honestly, y'all. And I didn't know what I was doing. I purchased it, started watching videos, and learned. Okay, this is a skill set. It's not something that you have to be born with. Okay, painting is a skill set, or at least watercolors is. All right, this is the 96 color palette, and the difference is it has 30 metallics. It has 12 macaroons, and it has 6 neons, and these neons are different than the ones that come in the 48 color palette. Okay, it has a fold out palette for mixing that can detach, and you can use it wherever you want to. And then you have 48 of your normal colors, and they still go from lightest to darkest, so you can still mix and blend really easy. It still comes with a really nice brush, a pencil, an eraser, and you get 2 art sponges with this one. So that is the difference. Both palettes come with these, they pop out. So all of your palettes can pop out. You can also pop them out individually from the back and make your own little palette to take with you traveling or whatever. But they are absolutely amazing. It's a genius little palette. I love it. I don't like getting paint like this, so when I'm using these top colors, I'll pop them out and set them down to use them. So it makes for ease of painting as well. So this is a great little palette to have. If you are an aspiring artist and wanting to learn watercolors, then for sure check this palette out. And again, I started with the 48 color palette, and then I have had that for 1.5 years, and I just last week upgraded to this 96 color palette, and it is already turning into a hot mess because I use it every day too. So I want you guys to know that when I say I use it every day, I'm not playing around. I truly am, like, I don't just paint on paper. I do jewelry and ornaments and all kinds of stuff. I just recently did this Christmas ornament right here, which is so stinking cute. Is that not cute? And I did this with watercolors. I did these earrings right here were done with these watercolors. So all of my jewelry and ornaments and, you know, anything like that, I do with watercolors. I'm working on these little A Christmas Story set, and those are done with watercolors. So how cute are those? Okay, so these are, so I use it every day. And I can tell you that I still have a ton of paint left. So it's going to last you a very long time. So that is, and also they're doing free shipping right now. So if you have, if you've been wanting to avoid shipping costs, then just so you know, you can avoid the shipping costs on all the Meeden products today because they're doing free shipping. Okay. So that is everything that we use today. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. If you want me to go through anything again or show you anything else, I am happy to tell you to do that for you. OC girl, you love your set. I'm so glad. Yay. I knew you would. Okay. The other thing that I want to show you that I just got in is this new set that Meeden has out. And it is a travel set. All right. So it comes with everything all in one little case. Okay. You get your brush, your pencil, you get a watercolor, like a water brush, you get an eraser, your sponge, even paper clips and tape for your art. You get an acrylic marker. Let me pull it out so you guys can see. Okay, so it's the kind that you have to pump, but then you have acrylic paint. Okay, let's see if we can get it to pump really quick. But you know, with acrylic paint, you can do detail work and all of that. So, so it's definitely a really good thing to have in a travel palette. And then you have 50 colors. All right, guys. So you get 50 of these colors. And now none of these are metallics or neons, just so you know. These are all just your regular 50 colors. But they are Meeden, and we know that Meeden is creamy and buttery and has amazing pigment. So if you guys are looking for a good palette that also can travel with you, this is a great one because it has everything all in one little case. And you can just take the whole case with you and it's all there. And it's a small, great one because it has everything all in one little case. And you can just take the whole case with you and it's all there. And it's small enough to fit in your bag. Just throw it in with paper and it'll fit in like your purse. So this is a great little palette. I haven't painted with it yet, but I can tell you that it's Meeden paint. So I'm not even concerned about the quality because I know how incredible Meeden paints are because I've been using them since the very beginning, and I am thrilled about their paints. So I don't even worry about what the quality of this is going to be. This little palette is going to live in my motorhome so that when we travel, I have a good quality palette in my motorhome that I can paint with. So, but I love this palette. And again, there's free shipping this weekend. So, feel free to, pick that up, and it's a great Christmas gift too, and it'll fit in a stocking. Like it's small enough that you could stick it into a stocking. So if you're looking for a really cool stocking stuffer for the artist in your life, this is it. Or if you want this in your stocking, send this link right here to the person that is going to fill your stocking. Send that off to Santa and let him know that there's the link that he can get it from. And you can grab this he can grab it for your stocking. Because no matter how wonderful the toys are that the elves make, they don't make paints as good as Meeden. All right. Any other questions? I don't know where all these flies are coming from. All of a sudden this morning, I have flies in my studio. I'm not sure what happened. I did have the door open for a while yesterday because the weather was really pretty. So maybe they made their way in during the beautiful weather. Yes, it does come with the coloring book. Right here, it comes with this. And it's like an accordion style. Let me just show you. I'll lift this up. It's like an accordion style, and it's double-sided. So you can practice and paint on this. And it also comes with these stickers, which are super cute. And you can use them as a guide on like your painting, or you can paint your coloring book something totally different, because these stickers are the same as what comes in the book. But look how cute they are. I mean, I will use these in my junk journaling every day of the week, guys, because they are super stinking cute. You too, OC girl. Thanks for popping in. I'm sorry I'm coughing in y'all's ears. I don't know what's going on. I think all this weather change has gotten to me. We've had some cooler weather here in Texas, which is kind of early in the year for us to have weather this cool, but all right. Any additional questions before I hop off of here? Just know that code is only good for the Grabie calendars while I'm on live. So if you guys are having thoughts about getting that calendar and using that code, be sure you do that and check out before I hop off of here. Okay? Otherwise, I am going to say so long. Unjudgmental, thank you for the purchase. Did you get the travel kit? Yep, it looks like you did. You're going to love it. I think you're really going to like it a lot. Thanks so much for the purchase. Looks like you did. You're going to love it. I think you're really going to like it a lot. Thanks so much for the purchase. November. Okay, we did October today. Here is October. This was our tutorial for today. I know it's been horrible. I think it just started this morning. I think it's from the weather that came in over the weekend. I think my allergies are kind of acting really strange. You don't hate your finished pumpkin? Yay, Carrie. Please send them to me. I want to see them. Yes, that's probably true. I just looked on here and didn't realize I'd been on here for over 2 hours. So it's definitely been a talking morning. So that's probably some of it. So this was today's tutorial. We'll be doing tomorrow's tutorial at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be doing the month of November. Okay. So we're almost done with our Grabie calendar series. After that, we're going to start the Advent calendar on December 1st. And in between, we're going to just do some fun watercolors. Okay? So if you guys don't have any additional questions, I'm going to hop off of here and go have some lunch. Maybe suck on a cough drop. So that was our tutorial for today, the month of October. I think it turned out beautiful. You shouldn't have to specify 2026. If you clicked my link, it's the 2026. All right. Let me look and see what you got. Or did you get the calendar? I'm not showing. I can't see it. It's not going to show me exactly what it was. So it usually does. It was product number 6. So the travel watercolor kit. And then it's only showing me the travel kit. But it might have been mixed in with that. Sometimes it won't. It'll only show me one if you made multiple purchases. So, but if you used my link, then it will be the 2026. It should be. The 2025 is a whole separate link. So, okay, yeah, you'll be good. You should be good. If there is a problem, you can always reach out to Grabie. They will take care of you. They've got really good customer service. But if it's the green box, if it was the green box, then that's the correct one. Which I was looking for my green box so I could show you, and I can't find it. I stuck it somewhere. And I don't know where I stuck it. Probably under here. Here it is. Yeah, if it was this box, then that's the 2026. Okay. All right. Again, this was today's tutorial. And we will be doing November tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will see all of you guys then. And I am thankful that you guys hung out with me today. I had so much fun. Everybody who made purchases, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And I'm so grateful for all of the support of my showcase. And I will definitely be thankful around Christmas when I'm able to get Christmas gifts for all the people that I love, because you guys have been so supportive. Oh, you're so welcome, Judgmental. Thank you. All right, guys. Love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow evening. I can't do morning because I have to take my dog to get neutered. I should say that softer so he doesn't hear me. So I'm going to be doing that in the morning. So it'll be tomorrow evening. I will see you guys then. I love y'all, and we will talk soon. Bye.